I've spent a ton of time reading and studying about how to be productive and how to get more done with the limited amount of time we all have available. When it comes down to it, though, we are only human and we can only push ourselves so hard before we burn out, run out of time, and need to slow down. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about 10 strategies that you can use to get everything done while balancing a full-time job and/or full-time studies. And none of these strategies are going to involve working harder, longer, or faster. These are going to be systems that you can put in place to help support your productive life, even when you aren't operating at 100% beast mode. The first strategy is to prioritize tasks wisely. To do this, I use a technique called the Eisenhower Matrix. Basically, every task can be placed in one of four categories: important and urgent, urgent and not important important, and not urgent and not important. When you start to look at your to-do list through this lens, it starts to become more clear how to use your time most effectively. Let's say it is 10:52 a.m. on a Tuesday, and you have to choose between answering your administrative emails that just popped up, urgent but not important, and preparing for a big client proposal in a few weeks that could earn you a promotion. Not urgent, but important. When you think about things in terms of urgency and importance, it might be tempting to answer the emails right now, but working on that client proposal could have a bigger positive impact on your career. So now it becomes clear that maybe you should do that. Besides, you can use my next strategy to manage all those administrative emails. The second strategy is to utilize time blocking, sometimes known as task batching. To start time blocking, you'll group similar tasks together and you'll work on all these similar tasks, like answering emails, at the same time. This will improve your overall efficiency because your brain doesn't need to switch back and forth between different types of tasks throughout the day. You can stay in the zone with answering emails and then move on to being in the zone while making all of your phone calls. Number 3 is to focus on one task at a time. We've probably heard that multitasking hurts productivity, but I actually went through an exercise recently that illustrated this point quite nicely. Take out a piece of paper and alternate writing out the letters of the alphabet A through Z and the numbers 1 through 26 and time yourself. So I'm going to start my timer and write A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, etc., all the way to the end. Now you're going to time yourself again and write out the letters A through Z, followed by the numbers 1 through 26 in order. The first exercise is simulating multitasking, and as you can see, my time was much slower compared to the second exercise, which simulates focus on one task at a time. This was such a simple little game, but it really blew my mind and convinced me that I should focus on doing only one thing at a time. Number 4 is to schedule breaks ahead of time and don't wait to take a break until you're feeling tired or overwhelmed. The human brain really isn't built to be 100% focused for long periods of time. So by forcing yourself to take short breaks at regular intervals, you can give your brain a chance to rest and recharge, which can actually prevent burnout and stress. Nobody likes feeling burnt out and stressed. So by taking steps ahead of time to prevent these negative emotions, you'll be better equipped for a long day of focus and productivity. I personally really like the Calm app for guided meditations. You can filter through it and choose meditations for different lengths of time to help calm and recenter yourself. I found that even a 5-minute meditation break to focus on my breathing really helps me reset in between batches of work and activities. Strategy number 5 is to learn to say no. This is a common piece of advice that people throw around without really thinking about it. But saying no and setting boundaries can actually be really difficult and uncomfortable. I used to think that saying yes to everything would make me more successful at work and more popular with my friends. This is totally not the case, and all it did was cause me burnout. I like to remember a famous quote from Steve Jobs, who said that when we say yes to something, we are saying no to everything else. So now I try to be more protective of my time so I can say yes to the things that really matter. Strategy number 6 for getting more things done is to delegate. Take a look at everything on your to-do list and ask yourself, do I really need to be the person to do all these things? And it is okay if the answer is yes or no, just as long as you can answer the question for yourself. To give you an example from my own life, there are 2 tasks around my house that take up quite a few hours every single week: meal prep and cleaning. Looking at both of these things, I realized that I no longer enjoy the process of planning, grocery shopping, and meal prepping, and most of my go-to meals were getting kind of boring, honestly. So I did a little bit of research, and I signed up for a meal delivery service. It costs a little bit more than my weekly meal prep, but I actually ended up saving money because I'm no longer going out to eat or ordering food when I'm feeling bored of the meals I prepared. When I took a critical look at keeping my house clean, though, I realized that cleaning really is like my therapy. I enjoy doing it during my downtime, and it makes me feel good to personally clean things. So while I could totally hire someone to help clean my house, I decided not to delegate that particular task. Everybody is different though, but don't be afraid to delegate creatively. Strategy number 7 for being more productive is to do a quick survey of how the day is going to go, either in the morning or the previous evening. I'll make another video about this soon, but at the end of every day, I like to take a little inventory of everything I've accomplished and the things I finished on my daily to-do list. I'll write out my to-do list for the following day, which usually includes anything I didn't get done that day. This way, when I wake up in the morning, I already have an idea about how the day is going to go, what meetings I'm going to have, and what projects I'm going to focus on. This allows me to approach the day with clarity so I can avoid that out of control feeling, because that is not what we're here for. Strategy number 8 is to set realistic goals. Sure, you can set a goal for the day of keeping 8 client meetings, responding to 150 emails, running 20 miles, and then coming home to toast a dinner party for 20 of your closest friends. But what are really the odds that you're going to do that all in one day? How likely are you to really lose 30 pounds in 1 month, or increase your business revenue threefold in the next 3 weeks? It's nice to set big goals, but if deep down you don't actually believe that you can meet the goals, you're just going to become disappointed, and you'll be less likely to engage with goal setting in the future. So try to set goals that will help you stretch out of your comfort zone, but that you actually have a realistic chance of achieving. Strategy number 9 is to stay flexible. I'm going to brag a bit here. I am super good at planning. I make amazing to-do lists, and I'm pretty good at prioritizing and being productive. There are days, though, when I'll have the most amazing agenda and a solid plan to get so many things done, and then something unexpected will fall on my lap. Maybe there's an angry client that I need to take care of immediately, or maybe one of my cats gets sick and needs to go to the vet. Or maybe I just didn't sleep very well the night before, and I don't have as much creative energy as normal. Whatever the reason, it's important to have grace with yourself and be flexible when things get off track. This is personally an area where I'm working on getting better, as evidenced by my crazy feelings of guilt when I caught a cold the other week and had to cancel everything and sleep all day. And finally, strategy number 10 is to practice self-care. Being productive is great, but you will be way more productive if you take care of your physical and mental health. Make sure you get enough sleep, manage stress, and give yourself time and space to rest and recharge in between those productive pushes. There have been so many times in my life when I'm so productive and I've been achieving all my goals, but then all of a sudden I'll lose interest in everything. I'll feel unable to focus, and I'll just want to sleep all day. These are symptoms of burnout. Our goal here is sustainable productivity. This isn't something that comes naturally to the high achievers among us, which is why it's extra important to be intentional with building sustainability into our productivity practices. And those are my 10 strategies to be more productive while balancing a full-time job along with everything else you got going in your life. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found at least one nugget of wisdom that you can use in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy this video I made about how to use the Ivy Lee method to plan your day. So definitely check that out here if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.